documents very critical, Madam Speaker. The ADP is a resolution by the residents of what they want. The honorable member can only guide them. And I don't believe the honorable member who was representing this honorable house for Mudhwani Ward would have kept this, Madam Speaker. The ADP is very clear that the residents of Mudhwani Ward have been speaking about floodlights. I appreciate the little effort that the department is doing. But Madam Speaker, honestly, with the revenue potential of Mudhwani Ward, and I've always insisted on that, Mudhwani Ward is 0.01 covered in terms of street lighting by the county government. In fact, it is recently, Madam Speaker, after I saw this statement, that the current floodlights, 2 of them have been installed and they are functional. Installing 2 Mulikamwizis, 2 floodlights in Githunguri, 1 in Githunguri and 1 along Katani Road. Madam Speaker, that is just like a drop of water in the ocean. Katani, the entire Katani is not lit. The entire Kamulu is not lit. The entire Joska, Mudhwani and its environs, they are not lit at all. Madam Speaker, I think the department needs now to up its game and give the residents of Mudhwani Ward what they deserve. Madam Speaker, I always say, I move around, I feel so much frustrated. When you go and find markets that have 3 or 4 shops with more than 3 or 4 Mulikamwizis, compared to an area like, all these members know about Joska. All these members have been able to know what is happening at Githunguri. The Honorable Deputy Speaker is here. He's my neighbor. And he resides in Mudhwani Ward. He can attest to what I'm speaking about, Madam Speaker. That area is dark. The county government of Machakos Department of Energy needs to up its game and provide more than 200, 300 Mulikamwizis in Mudhwani Ward, so that we can receive the value for money and the revenue that we contribute to this country. However, they have promised they are going to undertake measures, so it's just a matter of time, Madam Speaker, that we will give them time. And it's not only even in Mudhwani Ward, even as we discussed the statement the other day, it was said that they ought to have responded, even regarding what members say that it ought to be a cross-cutting event. Right now, Madam Speaker, even the honorable members present here can attest, since those solar masts were erected, it's more than 5-6 months when they were done in all the wards. How many have been installed? I believe it's only Mudhwani Ward. So, and our people are suffering, Madam Speaker. So the department needs to move with speed and ensure that they don't need to be taught to go and work. It is them to go and deliver those services, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Point of information, even though the member is... Yes, the information I'm giving,
yes,
Honorable Speaker, is that the Honorable Member for Mudhwani is only required to say whether he is satisfied or not satisfied with the statement. As according to our standing orders, once you seek a statement, yes, and a response has been brought before the House, the seeker of the statement is given a chance to say whether he is satisfied or not satisfied. He may tell us a lot of stories and not do what is required. So if satisfied, that is the end of the business. If not satisfied, we require more information from the department. So that is what Mheshimiwa was supposed to do. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Let me respond first before.
It is simple. I'm dissatisfied.
Let me now you are blocking me from protecting you. All right, I was just wanted to say that perhaps he wanted to enlighten us on the areas that he shows dissatisfaction, and then conclude with saying he's dissatisfied. So guide us through. Do you need more investigation? Okay, all right. At this point, therefore, yes, Mheshimiwa Brian Kisila.
Madam Speaker, I'm just cautioning members, before somebody shoots on their feet, it is important that they seek your permission to rise. I'm just saying that let us have order in this house. When somebody wants to contribute, let them raise their hand, let the speaker give them time to speak, and it is only procedural. Madam Speaker, I'm standing here to support Mheshimiwa Dominic. I'm the chairman of decentralized units, and personally I'm very dissatisfied by the way Mulikamwizis are being handled in the municipalities. even Machakos, which is our hub town. Madam Speaker, last night, as a chairman, I took upon myself to walk around the town. It is a ghost town. All the Molivamisis, most of them are off. How are we going to do business? And how are we going to make these towns a 24-hour economy when we are not doing our work? So what Mheshimiwa Dominic is seeking is a very serious issue. And I think we should take it seriously as a house. And if need be, we might need to seek. The committee, we had a meeting yesterday, and we are thinking of ways of how we are going to address Mulikamwizis in our towns, especially our municipalities where we are getting a lot of revenue. Madam Speaker, it's a serious issue, and I think I need your indulgence in this so that we can start getting more serious on the issue. So I was just standing to support Mheshimiwa Dominic.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Dominic, while you are away, a resolution was made by this House, guided by the standing orders, that before you can start contributing, you allow the Speaker to invite you. Yeah, it is not enough to raise your hand and straight away you go start contributing. So you have to allow the Speaker to allow you, call you on stage to come and contribute. Otherwise, thank you very much for your contribution. What I am gathering from Honorable Dominic and the support that he has received from colleagues is that he is not satisfied with this, the response. And on that point, I wish to recommit this statement to the Committee on Lands and Energy to do a thorough inquiry into this matter and bring back a good response that makes member satisfied. Thank you, honorable members. Honorable Kavyu?
Speaker,
I hope you're not commenting on that.
it's just an addition, although
No,
that's
no,
why
no,
I'm
no.
asking. You have already
We are
ruled.
done with it. Let it be handled, then bring, because I'm sure it is affecting
Yes,
cross-board.
that's
Yeah,
what
that's
I
what
wanted
I
to
know
put
you-
across.
Yes,
Instead of focusing on Mudhwani, because
Yes.
a plight that is cutting across the county,
correct.
as the committee looks, not only to look at the number of Mlikamwizi, but the department needs to do proper mapping and come up with a map on areas that needs to be, to have those lighting,
Yes.
and come up with an exact number and a plan on how they intend to address that. Thank you.
Very important. I hope, Honorable Ndeti, you'll convey this information to the right committee that has been committed. Honorable Mwanga. Proceed.
Madam Speaker, on the same matter,
Okay.
actually, I want to echo the sentiment of Mheshimiwa for Kenani Award. And Madam Speaker, I want to say this issue of floodlights is a thorn in the flesh, especially to the elected members. Madam Speaker, let me say it here without mincing words. It is true, Madam Speaker, it is all over the county, not only Mudhwani Ward. Madam Speaker, anytime you travel or you visit your markets in your ward, the question facing you, the first question is, when will this Mlikamwizi be functioning or writing, Madam Speaker? Madam Speaker, when you take your time to call officers in the concerned department, the answer is, we have no fuel. Mr. MCA, are you able to fuel the car? That is what these members are facing. day in, day out. And Madam Speaker, it is very unfortunate because we sat here as an assembly and we allocated funds to different departments. Why can't all these other departments borrow a reef from the Department of Roads and the Department of Water? Madam Speaker, I think as an assembly we should raise up to the call and do exactly what we are entitled to do in oversight role. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. We may have to borrow leave from different departments so that we can tackle these matters that are coming up as challenges and impediment to our oversight work. Thank you very much, members. I now invite Honorable Daniel Moindi to come forward, and who is the chairperson, Water and Irrigation, to come and make a statement.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I wish to respond on a statement on access of water to Matungulu West residents from Water and Irrigation Committee. Honorable Speaker, I raised to respond to a statement that was shouted on 18th October 2023 by Honorable Rabbi Rilaki Nzau, MCA Matungulu West Ward, and he referred to the Water and Irrigation Committee. The initiative the county government is doing to ensure the people of Matungulu West Ward has access to safe and clean water for domestic use within reasonable distance. 2, what the county government is doing to revive these boreholes and reticulate to water points near to the residents. 3, whether the county government has considered in this financial year 2023-2024 to initiate any water project within the wards to increase access to water for the residents. I therefore wish to state that the Department of Water and Irrigation responded as follows. The Department of Water and Irrigation has put in place the following measures to ensure that the residents of Matungulu West Ward have access to water. 1, repairs on Makutano borehole in the financial year 2022-2023 were undertaken. Extension of pipeline at our radio of absorption for 3 kilometers and installation of 2 10,000 liters tanks. 3, extension of Ngalalia bore pipelines for 8 kilometers from Kezukioni to Tala with the water kiosks along the pipelines. 4, drilling of Komarok Shrine borehole in the financial year 2023-2024. Installation of Kwamoisio Dam and Isone Dam in financial year 2023-2024. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. May I invite Honorable Lucky Raphael Nzau to come forward and confirm or dispute that he is satisfied with that statement.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Lucky Raphael, MC elected in Matungulu West Ward. Madam Speaker, I want to thank the chairman of that committee of water. But Madam Speaker, I think it is going in the Guinness Book of Records, whereby in Machakos, rather in that committee, we are having the answer sheet shorter than the question paper.
Elaborate on that point.
Madam Speaker, I request we take statements serious, because statements are sought with targets and meanings. Madam Speaker, I'm not satisfied with the response that have been given. One, Madam Speaker, during that time we were commissioning my statement to the committee, you requested, rather you directed, the committee takes the matter for the whole county, because it cuts across. But Madam Speaker, the committee looked at your direction. Secondly, Madam Speaker, when I was asking for this statement, I wanted to get itemized report on a particular borehole. What is the status of that borehole? What is the plan of that borehole? And what is the expected time that my people will benefit from the water from that particular borehole? Madam Speaker, that was not done. What we have heard is just a unanimous response. Kindly let the committee go back and rather work for the money they earn. Madam Speaker, I want also to add that, Madam Speaker, I want to add that the committee should go back, because I wanted to have an answer. Water is needed in institutions. We have hospitals. We have schools. I expect from the statement that a certain hospital like Kimiti, it's a level 4 hospital. It has no supply of water. I expected an answer for that facility.
Point of information.
What is the situation
Speaker?
of that facility to get
Point
water?
of information.
Point of information taken. Honorable Lucky, have a seat a bit.
Madam Speaker, I think despite the fact that once a member seeks a statement, they might be not satisfied with the information that is being given, but I also want to inform the member that a committee doesn't coil answers on their own. They report to this house. The committee is basically reporting to the house the information that was provided by the department, so it would be prudent if a member is dissatisfied the way Mudhwani indicated, you just indicate and give feedback to this house. Then it is at the discretion of the speaker to give direction whether the committee needs to go back or what needs to be done. Honorable Lucky, I'm still on the floor.
His feet.
So,
On his feet.
kindly sit down. So that is what I
And
wanted
members
to
to
inform.
read standing orders properly.
Yeah.
Let's go back and read and understand what they say, so that we don't make these serious mistakes.
Yeah. So
Proceed, Honorable Kavyu.
So, Madam Speaker, that is the information I wanted to share, so that even as we also react, we bear that in mind, that the committee only reports, and if one is not satisfied, the committee has not refused to go back and dig. So, thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honorable Lucky, all you needed to say was, I am not satisfied. The committee will now admit the statement back to the committee to bring us satisfactory. And I think you have done that.
Madam Speaker, I acknowledge the information given by Honorable Kavyu, but Madam Speaker, it is also good to give strength to what you wanted. Madam Speaker, it is not good also for us
If
to
you
limit.
want to give strength, it means you want to do the work yourself. Let the committee concerned do the work. You are
I-
dissatisfied.
I stand
The
guided.
statement has not met your expectations.
I
You are
stand guided.
dissatisfied. Let the committee, and I hereby have a seat. I hereby recommit that
Point of
statement
information.
back to
Point of information
the
before you
concerned committee.
kindly, Honorable Speaker.
Let me finish. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, so let me just recommit that statement back to the committee concerned, that is Water and Irrigation Committee, for further inquiry to bring another report to this House, which is to the satisfaction of the member who has sought the same. Thank you, honorable members. Next order.
Order number 8, motion, approval of report of Procedure and House Rules Committee on proposed amendments to standing orders.
May I invite Honorable Anastasia Mutevu, member of Procedure and House Rules Committee, to come forward and move that motion. Proceed, Honorable Anastasia.
Honorable Speaker, that where standing orders are written rules under which a legislative house conducts its business, further aware that standing orders regulate the way honorable members conduct their business and how debates are organized, and that they are unique to the legislative body they govern. Informed that Procedure and House Rules Committee is established under Standing Order 187, is mandated to propose amendments to standing orders, aware that under Standing Order 226, the Procedure and Rules Committee may at any time propose amendments to these standing orders, further aware that the committee considered a proposed amendment and compiled a report to that effect. Honorable Speaker, I wish to move a motion that this Honorable House discusses and approves the report of Procedure and House Rules, the Committee on proposed amendments to standing orders. I call the Honorable Member for Mwala, Honorable Brian Kisila, who is a member of this committee, to second.
Honorable Kisila. Thank you, Honorable Kisila. I now propose the question that this House discusses and approves the report of the Procedure and House Rules Committee on proposed amendment on standing orders. And before I invite members to debate this motion, may I also invite the mover to come forward and highlight on the report. Proceed, Honorable Anastasia.
Thank
Point
you,
of
Madam.
order, Honorable Speaker.
Okay, point of order taken. Honorable Anastasia, have a seat a bit.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'm raising on standing order number 27 on extension of time. Honorable Speaker, we are not sure whether we are going to conclude the business within the remaining time because we are supposed to be adjourning at 12:30. So I feel it wise to extend the time so that in case we are not through,
It is in
we
order.
are secure. Honorable Speaker, aware that standing order number 27 is about to provide that the Speaker shall interrupt business at 12:30 p.m. for morning sitting. Aware that standing order number 27 is about 3, provide that the House may resolve to extend its sitting time. Aware that standing order number 27 is about 4, requires a motion to extend sitting time to be moved at least 30 minutes before the appointed of adjournment. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move the motion that the House resolves to extend the sitting time until the business in the order paper is concluded. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I call upon the Majority Leader to second my motion.
Majority Leader. Thank you, Majority Leader. I now propose the question that this House resolves to extend its sitting time until the business of the day is concluded, I now invite members to debate this motion. I now put the question that this House resolves to extend its sitting time until the business of the day is concluded. As many as of the opinion say ayes.
Ayes.
As many are of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Proceed, Honorable Anastasia.
I was on the executive summary. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 227-1, the Procedure and Rules Committee received a written request from Honorable Ellen Deti requesting the committee to consider amendments to the standing orders to establish a select committee to be known as Gender and Equality Committee. The Procedure and Rules Committee, on receipt of the request, resolved that the proposed amendments were admissible and therefore held several sittings to discuss the amendments and subsequently compiled a report. In the report, the committee recommended establishment of a new select committee as proposed. The specific mandate of the committee has been explained in this report. I'll go to the mandate of the committee. Honorable Speaker, the Procedure and House Rules Committee has been established pursuant to Standing Order 187 and is mandated to consider and report all matters relating to the standing orders. The committee may also propose amendments to the standing orders, and any such amendments shall approval by the Assembly take effect at the time appointed by the Assembly. In addition, the committee may also rules the orderly and effective conduct of committee business. Legal provisions relating to standing orders. Honorable Speaker, the committee was guided by the following legal provisions. The County Government Act number 17 of 2012. Section 14, suborder 1A, provides that a county assembly may make standing orders consistent with the Constitution and the County Government Acts regulating the procedure of the county assembly, including, in particular, orders from the proper conducting of proceedings. County assemblies of Machakos standing orders. Standing Order number 226 provides that the Procedure and Rules and House Rules Committee may at any time propose amendments of these standing orders. Further, Standing Order 227-1 provides for the amendments to the standing orders a member may, with the support of at least 2 members, request Procedure and Rules Committee to consider amendments of the standing orders. Standing Order 227-6 dictates that the procedure on bills reported from committee of the whole House shall apply a motion to approve the report of the Procedure and Rules Committee on the amendments proposed to the standing orders. Further, in accordance with the Standing Orders 229-2, amendments to the standing orders provided under the part shall, upon approval by the Assembly, take effect at the time appointed by the Assembly. Procedure for making amendments to standing orders. Honorable Speaker, the procedure for making amendments to standing orders is provided for the Understanding Order 227 as follows. A member may, with the support of at least 2 members, request the Procedure and Assembly Rules Committee to consider an amendment to the standing orders. 2, a request under paragraph 1 shall be in writing and shall A, contain the text of proposed amendments and the justifications of the proposal. B, contain the names and signatures of the members supporting the request. C, be lodged with the Speaker. 3, the Speaker shall, if satisfied that the requirements of paragraphs 1 and 2 have been met, forwarded the request to the Procedure and Rules Committee. 4, the Procedure and Rules Committee shall, within 21 days of the receipt of the request under paragraph 3, consider the request and table a report on the Assembly containing the amendments proposed in the request and recommendations of the committee on each and such proposal. I'll go to the background for the proposed amendments. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Orders 227-1, Honorable Ellen Deti, supported by 2 other honorable members, through the Speaker, forwarded a written request to the Committee on Procedure and House Rules requesting the committee to consider amendments to the standing order by inserting the new standing order immediately after Standing Order number 189C to be Standing Order number 189D. In the letter, the said honorable member requested the committee to amend the standing order by establishing a new select committee to be known as Gender and Equality Committee. The rationale of this inclusion is pegged on the fact that devolution has opened opportunities for the women and other marginalized groups to participate and engage in county planning, budgeting, and implementation, and also ensure opportunities for county government, integrate gender-responsive mechanisms in development planning, budget, and implementation. Honorable Speaker, on receipt of the request, the committee during a meeting held on 15th November 2023 discussed the matter and resolved that the request was admissible and that there was need for the committee to consider it and recommend appropriately as provided in Standing Order 227-4. Proposed Select Committee. The committee proposed to establish a committee known as the Gender and Equality Committee. Section 14B of the County Government Act 2012 provides that a county assembly, subject to standing orders made under paragraph A, may establish committees in such manner and for such general or special purposes as it is considered fit and regulate the procedure of any committee to be established. Any committee so established. Composition of the committee members. There shall be a select committee to be known as Gender and Equality Committee. The committee shall consist of A, all women of the county assembly, B, all members of the county assembly representing the youth, persons with disabilities, and any other marginalized group. Proposed mandate of the committee. No, I'll go to the conclusion. Honorable Speaker,
It's important that you read the
I do the proposed
mandate.
mandate of the committee. Thank you for guidance. The committee mandate will be 1, advocate for gender equality, affirmative action and removal of discrimination in all the functions of the assembly. 2, promote legislation that takes into consideration the interest of marginalized groups, including women, youth, persons with disabilities, and the elderly. 3, the committee will pursue policies and administrative actions that promote the empowerment and inclusion of marginalized groups, including women, in development and decision-making. 4, collaborate with development institutions and other civil societies, society organizations, galvanize support for the inclusion of marginalized groups in county development. 5, the committee will ensure gender and disability mainstreaming in the county budget making process. And the last one, it will liaise with the national and county government institutions on matters relating to gender and equality. Committee recommendations. Honorable Speaker, in view of these committee recommendations that the House approves, 1, establishment of a new committee to be known as Gender and Equality Committee and the proposed mandate. 2, approves this report and propose amendments to standing orders in according to standing orders number 227, suborder 5 and 6. Conclusion. Honorable Speaker, the committee wishes to acknowledge the office of the Speaker and that of the clerk of facilitating the committee to undertake the task of amending the standing orders to suit well the operations of the assembly and to be in the line with the Constitution. Special credit goes to the members of the committee for the participation during preparation of this report. The committee further acknowledges the Secretariat for the technical support and guidance in tracking the proposed amendments containing in this report. It is therefore my place and duty to privilege to table before this Honorable House and report on proposed amendments to the standing orders for discussion and adoption. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The report is signed by the chairperson of the Procedure and House Rules Committee, Honorable Ann Kusia, the Speaker. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Well done, Honorable Member. May I now invite members to debate this motion? Members, the floor is yours. Honorable Minority Leader, proceed and contribute.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I will start by applauding the committee for coming up with a very brief and self-explanatory report. Again, Honorable Speaker, I will applaud Honorable Ellen Detty because she is the author of the business we are transacting here. Honorable Speaker, I want to say the report is 100% correct. And say the report is going to seal a very serious lacuna which has been existing since the last regime. Honorable Speaker, a motion was moved in this House by the same author of this business, one Honorable Detty, and that other regime. They tried, but they did not bear any fruit. But today, I'm happy. Now this assembly has burnt what we call midnight oil to ensure that that existing lacuna is well addressed. Honorable Speaker, we end some instances whereby issues concerning the clusters mentioned here we were missing which committee to commit such issues. But now, I can now confidently now confirm that we will have a committee which will be handling such issues. Honorable Speaker, the report is very much concerned about the issue of the third gender rule, because it has given us the composition of the members, and we have seen all the members of this house, lady members, are there, and there are also slots for other clusters. A cluster like the marginalized, a cluster like the elderly, like myself. So, Honorable Speaker, I want to appreciate the committee, and I'm very sure a committee led by the Speaker of this House cannot bring a report which is not admissible. So I want to say the report is admissible, and I'm requesting these honorable members to agree with the report and pass it as yesterday. Honorable Speaker, ladies are the ones who control the economy of this world. Honorable Speaker, ladies are very important creature in this world. And the reason why I'm saying so, Honorable Speaker, the reason why I'm saying so, all the men in this house, honorable members, male honorable members, after this plenary and after the afternoon plenary, each and every member will go back to a lady who you left at home for you to be taken care of. So, Honorable Speaker, we need to empower our ladies. And I'm very sure, Honorable Speaker, if you empower one lady, you have empowered the entire family. A good example, Honorable Speaker, if you give a man 1,000 shillings and you give another 1,000 shillings to a lady, the one you gave to the man himself may not reach home. The man himself may not reach home. But the one you give to the lady, that money will be used to take care of the entire family. If the lady buys sugar, the tea, of course, is for everyone. The head of the family who is a man and all the kids. But the money given to a lady, to a man, may even make the man go somewhere and because of that 1,000, refuse to go home. So I'm requesting, honorable members, honorable members, honorable members, and I'm very sure all the men were taken care by a lady 9 months in their womb. So this is the high time we should, and I'm repeating, we should empower our ladies so that we can have our county prospering to the next level. Honorable Speaker, I support the report 100%. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Mike, then Honorable Katiti, Honorable Evelyn, Honorable Kitaka, Honorable Paul. Sorry.
Thank you, Madam Speaker,
In that order.
for this opportunity to contribute to the motion. I am standing to support the motion that there is a need for us to adopt that new committee for gender and equality. As you've heard the Honorable Minority Leader allude and praise women, I think it is also the work of that committee to ensure that gender and equality will be put in place. Because if that committee was into place, this morning, us men in the house would feel equal. So I thank the author of the motion. It's a motion that was at being due, and I stand to support it. However, my attention has been caught by the composition of the committee. I may not quote the exact words, but the composition of the committee was, one, all the women honorable members in the House. So I'm looking at, I don't know whether it will be a contravention to the other previous standing orders.
Let him finish.
Yes.
Then you can now respond.
So that, okay. I don't know whether there is a contravention of, sorry, whether it's somebody. Thank you. Somebody was putting it on. Thank you. So I'm saying, I don't know whether it's a contravention of, because the tradition of other committees are made up of 13 members. And I'm looking at a situation, because we don't know the future. Maybe we'll have women, all women elected in this house, and probably due to the empowerment we have 40 women in that committee as a select committee. So
Point of information, Madam Speaker.
Information?
Yes, point of information, Madam
so
Speaker.
I was standing to support the motion and say we
Allow
look
him to finish. Thank you.
and we look into it, the composition and the number of members, so that we don't just put a blanket hall. I wish we remove the word hall and we have women led, the women caucus thing. It's okay, but we can look into future where we may have all women MCS in this assembly, and because of that stand order may be forced to have 40 members or 60 members in that committee. So my issue is only on
Point of
the
information, Madam
phrase
Speaker.
hall. Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the time and protecting me from the many informations.
Honorable Katiti.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm Boniface Chalo Katiti, representing the people of Mudedeni. I stand here to support the motion because I'm a member of the House of the Procedure and House Rules Committee, and I was part of the people that were deliberating on these standing orders and this about this the mandate of this committee. First, I want to thank Ellen Detty for having come up with such a thought, because though initially it was a human caucus, but we stood against the women caucus and we said we should be included as men in that committee. So eventually it came up as a gender and equality committee. About the composition, we raised that matter up, and the people that came up as the representatives of that committee, they are the nominated MCS that will take care in terms of the representation, not about the women, but on the side of the people who will be representing those other groups. They'll take care of the nominated MCS. Like, for example, there will be those of marginalized groups. It can be taken care of, even be a man nominated by a party, or a youth represented, nominated by a party, or another person. So we were careful and we knew what we were doing. The other thing is about the empowerment of women. It is well taken. Initially, I think traditionally the patriarch, they said, all the fathers, all the male, they said there is no way and there's no room and there's no space for the women. But currently, this committee that's coming up, I will take care of the gender of the women, because they are the majority in that committee, and their views will be taken care of because they are the ones who will be mandated to preside and to preside over it in terms of the policy making, in terms of budgets and ending use that entails the mandate of that committee. So I support the motion, and I say and I wish all will be well, and that committee will stick to its mandate. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Honorable Evelyn.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm Zeki Evelyn, representing the good people of Kangundo Eastward. I stand to support the report, and forthright, I would like to applaud Honorable Ellen for our tireless efforts to ensure our brainchild has been actualized. Actually, it was not only a fair thing and a right thing to do, but also it is because it is linked to the country's overall economic performance, because it ensures productivity when there is total inclusivity. With such a committee in this house, it will create and ensure the women are strengthened and their status are realized, and also make them understand their feminine potential in this house. I'm sure it will create social awareness, especially concerning gender discrimination internally and externally. As it will become a committee, it will also solve the question of people we have in this assembly who lack responsibilities. It will have a chair and a vice chair. I stand to support. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Who was Honorable Paul?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I thought my good chairman, Honorable Kitaka, was coming before me, but it's okay.
I also thought so,
yeah.
But it's okay.
Yeah. Madam Speaker, let me first of all congratulate the mover of the motion and the committee that did the job to have a gender and equality committee in this house. However, Madam Speaker, I have a few issues. One of them being the definition of gender. And for me, to me, gender is not women. Gender is both male and women. And when it comes to the composition of the committee, where we say that all women are members of the committee, I think then all men should also be members of the committee because we are also of the opposite gender. Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker, going by what Mheshimiwa Mike said, we should also be looking into the future, where probably at one point women will be more in this house. So the marginalized group will be men at that point. So in having a composition of this house, let's also do a composition that will stick for posterity and not just for now. Madam Speaker, for instance, in Machakos County, I think men are the marginalized group in terms of leadership. Starting with where we are, you lead this house, Madam Speaker is a lady, the governor is a lady, the senator is a lady. So if we look at the broader perspective, we need to have this committee better composed for posterity, Madam Speaker. I support, but with a mixed composition, because I heard the minority leader talk about that gender rule. I think as proposed, the composition will not be catering for that. Madam Speaker, I support.
Committee, Honorable Member, the committee is for the House. It's not for the county.
That was just an example, Madam Speaker, not, it was just an example of how probably men are marginalized elsewhere. So, Madam Speaker, I support, but my input would be that let's look at the composition of the committee. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
I feel I should add something on that. I've been caught by that statement of all women members of the county assembly. I feel like there's something that we need to change there, especially just by removing the word all and just write women members of the county assembly. And, but as contributors continue making their contributions, let's address that issue, all of us. Honorable Francis Kitaka, proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I am Honorable Francis Kitaka, representing the good people of Ndalani Ward. And I arise to support this motion. And I would like to address the part where it talks about the committee, the composition of the committee. When you look at item A, it says all women members of the county assembly. This is regardless of whether you are nominated member or you are elected member. Item B, all members of county assembly, members who will be here representing the youth, regardless whether they are women or they are male, members representing persons with disabilities, and any other marginalized group. Honorable Speaker, English depends with the school or the teacher or the lecturer who taught you.
Even the recipients.
Even the recipient. Thank you. When I look at it, I am convinced that the members, the committee that is we are looking at will be comprising of both women and men. So if you are disabled and you are a male, you qualify to be in that committee. Si ni ukweli? So, Honorable Member, Honorable Speaker, I would want to say that this is a committee that's overdue. And for us to advocate and for us to achieve the full potential of the categories of the groups that are captured here, it is important that we have this committee in place. For us to have full representation, and for members, the marginalized groups, and the people living with disability to feel that they are recognized, this committee comes hand in handy for the said members. Honorable Speaker, I support this, and I urge the members of the Assembly to support. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable, after Paul, there was who? Oh, we were finishing with Paul. Then we can now get another set. I start with Honorable Mbula, then come to Honorable Majority Leader, Honorable Ndeti, Honorable Kavyu, Honorable Brian, in that order.
Point of information, Honorable Speaker.
Yes.
Yes, from the set you have, the list you have
Yes.
identified.
Yes.
Honorable Ndeti doesn't qualify to be given a chance because she will have a chance to respond. She is the mover of the motion.
She's not.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you. I'm sorry for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry for that.
Thank you. Let's proceed in that order then. Honorable Mbula.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I am Constance Mbula Nzioki, Special Elect by Maendeleo Chap. First, I want to congratulate Honorable Helen Ndeti for having a big mind. She really has a big mind. Honorable Speaker, I was here in the first assembly and we had this committee. We worked for it to be formed. We went 5 years. It did not work because of the element of women. And for today, I must say we shall celebrate. Women have been given now power. And I want also to ask the men and tell the men, please, do not be afraid. We love you. We love you and we are with you here. And we shall work together. I hear some of you saying for the disabled men, for what? But I categorically want to say, for this assembly for now, we do not have any disability as men are concerned, unless you do not come out and say you are disabled. So whether you are disabled or not, we shall work together and be who you are. And now, also men, you must know, women have power in this house. You also have to give us your push so that we can be together. Mheshimiwa Helen, keep it up. You have taken 5 years to bring this committee into place because it was related to women and many people did not like it that way. But now you had to think and think and think and came up with a better wordings. However, we are still the same women and we shall work together. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, in the course of you speaking, I heard you say that the committee we are about to establish is for the Assembly. Yes. And the Honorable Constant Mbula is saying it's for the women. No, it's for the Assembly. Yes. On a light note, though, yes. Madam Speaker, legacies are built like this. You see, the former Assembly was not able to actualize this. But through your leadership and the effort of the Committee of Rules and Procedure, you have been able to bring, and finally we are discussing the formation of this committee. So it's for your legacy and for legacy of the committee and the legacy of this house. So on that note, I want to congratulate my senior, Helen Ndeti, Honorable Helen Ndeti, for not tiring, for insisting. And I think she comes from my clan. I am a Mwombe. and I think she comes from my clan, and we have been accused of insisting, but in most cases, we insist for the betterment and for good things mostly.
How come your name is missing in the clan list?
No wonder then, no wonder then this has been actualized if also you are from our clan. And also, I am even told, even the mover is from our clan. So congratulations, the clan of the largest clan in the Cumberland for bringing up this thing. Number two, I want to thank my brother, Honorable Kitaka, for clarification. You see, at bullet number 7.0, and I'm not going to read it all, it says, provides that a county assembly, subject to standing orders made under paragraph A, may establish committees in such a manner and for such general or specific special purposes as it considers fit, and regulate the procedure of any committee so established. So I think we're establishing a committee of the House, and the composition, as you have alluded, is not all women or all members of the county assembly. It is within the standing orders. So as we are going to be, finalizing on the composition, let us realize that this committee composition is subject to the standing orders and of just the general committees. Lastly, I also want to thank the House. I can feel the sensitivity with which honorable members are talking about gender and equality. On a scale of balance, we all know in this country that women leaders have not enjoyed the same opportunity at leadership level. So it's at this juncture, Mheshimiwa and Dawn, at this point, we realize that we are trying to bring up women leaders to an equal opportunity like men leaders. Until such time arrives, we are going to be pro-women, we are going to be pro-gender equality and inclusive. And at one point, if we feel as men that the scale of balance have changed, it is going to be incumbent on the women leaders also to start talking about being pro-men with the same energy they speak about women. So I support this motion, and I thank everyone for supporting. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Ndeti, proceed.
Members, I really don't know what to say, but I am very happy to see how people are active in contributing to this motion, which has taken over 6 years. I started it in the last assembly. We were number one in the entire republic in terms of progressing until somewhere down the road, the whole process stopped. But I thank God that Madam Speaker and the entire Procedure and Rules Committee have seen the need to bring it back. And I just want to stand here and thank all the members who are thinking positively and thinking alike. Secondly, I want to say that this committee will be handling gender responsive issues. If you very well remember, our governor in our manifesto, she has a Wikwatio fund, which I think we are waiting for a regulation so that she can be able to set some money aside in the county's budget to help with women activities, outreach activities in your wards. So members, this is also a plus to you because once we get moving, we are going to look for funding. I'm going to source for funding outside Kenya. I'm going to make sure that Wikwatio fund is working. And through you, we'll have a lot of programs for women, youth, disabled, marginalized in your wards. So this is a very good thing, and I appreciate you all. Members, let us pass it. It's about gender responsiveness. The committee is composed of both women, elected, nominated, youth. We have Mheshimiwa Lloyd is one of us. We've got Mheshimiwa Ndi, who represents the marginalized. I think we've got even Madam Faria. I think she is also representing marginalized. So it's a composition of, because legally you cannot have a caucus for only one gender. So the committee is properly constituted. So members, mine is just to tell you thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Ndeti. Honorable Kavio.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm standing to support the motion and also to clarify to the House issues to do with gender parity is a worldwide concern, and any progressive community should be moving towards ensuring that that aspect is achieved. And what I like to contribute is that it's a good move. It's also going to have an impact on how Machakos County operates in terms of gender issues. My only concern is on the part of the membership composition, because this is going to operate like any other committee. We just need to restrict the membership to be guided by the standing orders, but the scope and the operation of the committee should target all women and the groups that have been mentioned, because not that we have any discrimination, but it will also be good for seamless operation of the committee, because the more number you have, the more difficult will it for in terms of decision making. So we can have a committee that will be organizing, planning on how the entire caucus needs to operate, but we also expand. I also like what Mheshimiwa Ellen has alluded to. I think as you also look for those donors, because there are wards that are disadvantaged. I don't know whether Mudhwani as a nominated member, but for Kinani, just
Okay, point of information taken. Honorable Kavio, just a minute.
Madam Speaker, thank you. I just wanted to inform the honorable member that we shall not be working in areas where they are only nominated. There will be a program, it will be very open, and we'll discuss and work with all elected members. Kila nyumba kalia. Thank you.
Explain what that means. What is kila nyumba kalia?
You know, I come from Makueni, so Kikamba yangu ni a bit different. Kila nyumba kalia means every house must have some milk.
So every place will be taken
care of.
Thank you. Honorable Kavio, proceed.
It is Kalila. Kalea might mean something different depending on which part of Kambani you come from. But the point, thank you for the information also. What I was trying to put across is that a bigger percentage of our honorable members who are of the female gender, most of them happens to be nominated, and I just wanted to ensure that even as you operate, do not restrict yourself to matters touching only on the members, because there is a very huge potential in terms of what can be exploited to make to achieve the objectives of gender parity in Machakos County, because we are behind, and therefore through this caucus I think that is a concept that can be actualized and formalized. So you have our support, and we are going to work together, even if it is not open for all members. We are also going to contribute and ensure that we achieve the gender parity issue, because we want equality in all dimensions of life, whether for both male and female. And therefore, I think we also need to have equal representation of male in that committee, because the boy child every day, initially we used to talk of girl child empowerment, but where we are going, we need to strike a balance, because very soon as a country we are going to have a country full of empowered girl child, but with a weaker boy child. So there will be no one to take care of the empowered girl child. So we need to balance, and I think this caucus will provide that platform to ensure that we also rescue the boy child from becoming extinct. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I support the motion.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Brian Kisila.
Madam Speaker, I rise here first as a member of this committee, to thank you for your good leadership you gave this committee to coming up with this report. But too, I'd like to thank Mheshimiwa Helen for her tireless effort in ensuring this committee works. Madam Speaker, women have a lot of issues, and we elected members know the kind of issues our women are suffering from. I come from a ward where, for example, cancer is completely punishing our women. I feel this committee has a well cut out work, and we expect this committee to work together with everybody in this house and the executive in ensuring that women issues are well taken care of and they're addressed. So, Madam Speaker, I feel that we have come a long way as a house. I feel that we have tackled the issues of representation, because we have members who have been nominated by their parties based on youth, marginalized. In fact, it is only this time around that we do not have representation of disability. And we might need to think about how we will tackle the issues of disability will be handled in this committee. So, Madam Speaker, I support, and I think this committee has to move very fast to address the issues facing women, marginalized youth, and the elderly who are in our midst. I support.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Rosina, and then we conclude on this matter.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm Rosina Kalini, nominated in my Wiper Democratic Movement. Madam Speaker, may I start with applauding Mheshimiwa Honorable Helen. She has really fought for this motion to see the light of the day. Madam, still, I want to appreciate on a special way our minority leader, Mheshimiwa Ndawa, our DS, and Honorable Kisila. Madam Speaker, I was with that team in the last assembly, and they really tried to push our agenda. So I think we can't forget to thank them. Madam Speaker, we have come a long way with this issue, and I'm so happy that today I will sleep as a proud member, because this motion is going to see the light of the day. Thank you, honorable members, and all the honorable members who have spoken. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, honorable members. At this point, I wish to, Honorable Maida, you want to say something? Okay, contribute then.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to take this opportunity to thank my senior member of this assembly in terms of age, Mheshimiwa Ndeti. One, for aiding to advise. It's not many that owe it to advise. When Ellen Ndeti one day nodded to me that she intended to move this amendment, initially she wanted to bring it and introduced it as a caucus. And we discussed at length, and I invoked standing order number 221, which talks about caucus issues and what it entails of a recognition of a caucus in the assembly. And I thank her very much, because she read it and she understood what it entails and instead opted to go through the Powers and Privileges Committee in terms of amendment of the constitution of our standing orders. Because when you read standing order number 221, Madam Speaker, caucuses are recognized, but they don't enjoy equal powers and privileges of other committees in the assembly. So, Madam Speaker, I want to congratulate her and tell her that she's now in the process now of achieving her dreams in this assembly. And she has said even before that, before she leaves this assembly, she wants to make sure that this is achieved. So we want to ask the assembly, through the leadership of this assembly, to ensure that all what is required of Thank you, Madam Speaker. I can see you are consulting.
Yes.
So what I was saying is that I appreciate that the honorable member saw it fair to work through the amendment process of our standing orders, and it's going to give the committee equal privileges and powers like all other committees in this assembly. So of importance to note is that now that she has pushed, it has worked, and we are going to pass it, is now to throw a challenge to the members of that committee who will be privileged to sit in that committee to ensure that all what she wants is achieved. All what she intended to is achieved and realized. So that we don't just form a committee, enjoy privileges, enjoy allowances for the committee, but what our dream was all about for the last almost 7 years is not realized. So I wish to support this amendment of our standing orders and say that, Honorable Ellen, kudos for the good move that you have taken, and all other women leaders in this assembly. And I want to tell this. The honorable member, Honorable Mbula, said we should not be scared. I want to tell you, Mheshimiwa Mbula, we are not scared at all. We are not scared at all. What we are saying is, let the intention of this amendment be achieved so that all what is deserved of is realized. The reality of the matter is, and the minority leader said this, we cannot wash away the women leadership in this country. It has been experienced, it will be experienced, and in fact, as men, we need to realize that it is now getting tougher. If we don't rise up to the occasion and realize that women leadership is coming up, then it is us men to lose in future. So we must also stand as men, support our women, and ensure that this country grows, realizing all affiliations, women, youth, people with disability, and all cadres of leadership. There is no one who is limited to leadership. Anyone can be a leader of this country. And I even want to throw a challenge even to the women leaders around. You need to champion for one day in time that because you are the majority in this country, we need to have a women president in this country. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. At this point, I want to point out that most of the contributors of this debate has pointed out that there is a, I think it's a typo, let me call it a typo on composition of the committee members. I would wish that we unanimously agree that we remove the word all women members for, that is 8-0, we have there. We remove the word or and leave it with women members of the county assembly, and we also remove the second, that is B, or we remove it and leave it with the members of the county assembly representing these groups. Agreed? Then may I at this point call upon the mover of the motion to come forward and respond, reply, then we proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would wish to thank the author of this motion in a very special way, our chair, Madam Honorable Ellen Diti, for bringing this noble motion, and not even bringing, she was very active on following on the actualization. Thank you so much, our chair. We are really grateful. I would also wish to thank our chair of this committee, the speaker of this house, and even the secretariat for the much work they did on bringing up this report. Madam Speaker, I would like to thank the honorable members of this House for supporting this noble motion in a very special way. I'm sure it will give women empowerment and less privileged youth and marginalized. We are really grateful. We wish to keep a promise to this House that through our HEBO chair, Honorable Ellen Deti, we will work very hard on this committee, that Machakos County Assembly becomes the benchmark to the other counties or on gender issues, and even the committee of gender on this committee. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I now put the question that this House resolves, this House discusses and approves the report of the Procedure and House Rules and Committee on the proposed amendments to the standing orders, and also as amended on the floor of the House. At this point, I wish to ask the members to include the amendments that we have done in the floor of the House and make changes to the composition. As many are of the opinion, say ayes.
Ayes.
As many are of the contrary opinion, say nay. The ayes have it. Thank you very much, honorable members. At this point, the House adjourns to Tuesday, 21st November, 2023 at 2:30 p.m. See you then.